Oh, my God. Though that was such a pivotal moment because, and it's what I'm actually experiencing at the moment, is this idea that people aren't going to come into your house and go, hey, do you want to shoot for Vogue? Do you want to get on a TEDx stage? Do you want to go do this? So, you should be that. Then no one's going to come in here and don you, as a friend of mine was saying to me.
Mm.
And I remember you saying, like, well, if you're doing photography, you're a photographer. There's nothing you need to do to then qualify that. It's just claiming it before you're ready often.
Yes.
That's what has to happen. And I love that you were that person for me at that time.
Yeah. And then I was like, can you
let's
be my photographer?
Let's do a shoot.
But you know what I always find so interesting about stuff like that is at that point, I thought I was going to be a passion and purpose coach. That was sort of my first little foray into the coaching space. And what's really interesting is a lot of the insights and revelations that I've had recently is actually kind of taking me back to that space. And I can see why that really actually called to me, because that is really a part of my work, is passion, purpose, legacy, all of those sort of things. But it's so interesting sometimes how we can really deviate ourselves from our roots and what is actually our truth, because we get that shiny object syndrome and then end up scattered all over the place and going on this mystical side journey when we were so close at the start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I even think I know for myself, like I picked up photography 10 years ago and then I put it down because I was naive, didn't know what I was doing. And then I was just like, yeah, I'm never taking a photo again. Like, all of this can fuck off. Camera can fuck off. I'm never doing this. And then here I am doing it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Better than ever.
Better than ever. Better than what I thought. More magic than what I thought. But it also, like, my journey with that, because even a year ago I said I was quitting.
Yeah.
And so it's like trusting the process. Because Tom said to me, my fiancé, he said to me, I don't think you should have announced that you were quitting photography because you obviously didn't end up quitting. But I'm like, at the time, that was very real for me. And this other part, I guess, in those side journeys and in maybe the shiny objects is like, how are we actually valuing ourselves and honouring what it is that we want to do and how we want to do it and what we really desire. So I think that's been the biggest lesson is like, I didn't actually hate photography. I hated how I wasn't honouring my art and honouring myself. And therefore that was being reflected in situations I was navigating as an artist, which a lot of creatives can resonate. People who don't pay you, don't want to pay you, don't honour your time and your creativity. Yeah. Which all stems from myself not honouring that part. But also I need a journey to sort of go off and go, fuck you, I'm never doing this again. Yeah. And then go, oh, okay, I'm back here. Yeah. Oh.
Hey, me.
Hey. What do I need to learn here? Yeah.
But I think actually that's been one of the most beautiful things for me, witnessing your journey, especially now having a context to your human design as an ego projected projector.
Which sounds awful.
Yeah, it does, but it's not. I think seeing you embrace that pure space of ownership of that defined heart energy, that bigness, that boldness, that confidence, the desire, the place of desire, and also moving into embracing your genius as a projector and allowing people to recognize you in that as well. That's been such a huge, I think, component to your journey that I've witnessed and love witnessing, and constantly am DMing you being like, oh, I see this here.
Yes, I love those
way to claim that ego authority, just constantly cheering on the ownership of your design in the sidelines. But that's been a really huge part of your journey, I think.
Oh, I think learning about human design has been powerful in the unlearning of how the world wants me to be and these unique parts of me, and a real recognition of every time I follow the desire, holy fuck, the magic that happens.
Yeah.
And just the times when I'm not doing that, even with photography, my sort of not war with it, but where I clash with it is how society and how the world has always done it, how collectively we've always viewed it, approached it, how photographers have always done it versus how I want to do it.
Yes.
And then these moments of well, then who the fuck am I? I don't have any lived experience or proof of how I want to do it. So then maybe I definitely doubt myself. And then I go, oh, well, then I have to do it like that. Then every time I do it like that, I'm like, fuck, I hate doing it like this. I want to do it like that. But then there's not trusting myself, which was probably the year I've had from when I was like, I'm quitting, to then being like, well, look at me still taking photos. I'm clearly not quitting. So then how do I make this work for me, and how do I truly want to do it?
Yeah.
And it's just such a reminder for all of us. Like, I know I speak a lot from desire, not just because it's I think because it is my human design authority. Important. It's just, it's how I do talk about things. Yeah. But I think it's such a reminder for all of us that, and this probably ties into creativity as well, is like how you want to do things, trust that.
Yeah.
And trust those dreams, and trust like the weird ways that you want to create.
I always say our desires aren't here to fuck with us.
No.
And I think that, like, although, you know, entrepreneurship, creativity, artistry, all these things do present challenges, I don't think they're actually meant to be hard. We actually make it hard, and we often make it hard by trying to do it somebody else's way. You know, I really, like, that was probably the biggest permission slip that I got from human design, especially as a manifestor, was like, it's going to be quite rare that I see my way done anywhere else.
Yeah.
And so, you know, as especially, you know, artists, creators, like, that doesn't just apply to a manifestor, but, you know, as a manifestor here to initiate, I can't initiate by responding through the lens of feedback and permission and all of these different things that were holding me back. And I was constantly looking for evidence before I started. And that's just often not the journey of an entrepreneur or creative or anything like that anyway. So often it's like, what do you desire? How do you want to do it? How feels exciting and joyful and innovative in your body? And follow that. That's literally how easy it gets to be.
Oh, I'm just feeling the fire of, you know, particularly with, I mean, that's probably why you are a creative, and artist and entrepreneur, is because you've got a unique take on things.
Right.
That's probably why you're being drawn to that area of work. So it's like, how can you give yourself that permission to try and experiment with these ways?